This is Liz.
This is Jade.
And this is Carly. And you're listening to
Babes and Babies!
Don't worry, be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
That just made me think of those like old fish that were on the plaque that were electronic and their face would like turn away.
Those are cool and scary.
Yeah.
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 The bass.
Hey, I'm the bass.
You
No,
are
I'm
a
not. I
bass.
didn't change my last name. Oh, we need to talk about that too.
We were gonna talk about that
Yeah, which we can.
right now. While we're on the subject, Jay, did you change your last name?
Oh yeah, so earlier we were talking about last name changes when you get married, and legally on my marriage certificate I'm Tolbert, and Roper is a middle name, so my middle names are now Elizabeth Roper, so Jade Elizabeth Roper Tolbert, but no hyphen. But on all of my legal stuff still, like I haven't changed my driver's license or my social security or anything like that. It's all still Roper. But I go by both. Like I identify myself as Roper and Tolbert.
So you haven't like officially changed it, just on your marriage certificate. But you actually have to like go down to like
Do I have to? Can I
the
just leave them?
officiants of the IDs people.
Can I just leave it?
You can do whatever you want.
I just feel like
you
I go
want,
by
girl.
both. I just like whatever. People ask me and I'm like, I don't know, whichever one you want to call me. I like them both. I'm both that person.
Right. Both a Roper and a Tolbert.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have not changed my name. Mm-hmm. I don't know that I'm gonna. Mm-hmm. I don't have any. I like fish. A bass is a fish. A bass is also a guitar bass. You can say it both ways if you want. That's kind of cool. You can say it two different ways. You can say one last name two different ways. That's cool. But I don't know. it's a lot of work. That is a lot of work to change all of the things.
Wait, you can change my last name into different names too. I could be Jade, Jade, Elizabeth, Ropier, Tolbert.
Oh, wow.
That's sexy.
That was really fancy.
If my name sounded like that, I would change it.
Everyone can call me that from now on.
Yeah, I'm going to call you that from now on. No, I don't know. Evan doesn't really care. And I don't know that. Well, maybe he does.
He?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Tanner cares, I think. I don't think he likes when like people like if I get a piece of paper that I need to sign and it has Jade Roper on it. I think it bothers him a little bit. As long as Emerson's obviously Tolbert, and so I think that makes him happy. But
And Bella is...
it's Bass. I don't know. I mean, Evan still gets mail to the house like with his ex-wife's name on it, and her last name is still his last name, and like
weirds you out.
it just like is weird. I don't know. Like
I could see that.
he already has someone with that last name, and like I don't know. I kind of like. I like to also identify as an individual sometimes. And I don't know. I don't feel the urge to right now. I know that it's like way easier when you have a baby and that baby has your last name to be that last name. I totally get that. But right now, I'm not going to do it.
I wonder what the statistic is nowadays, because obviously I feel like in society we're not as traditional anymore as couples. I wonder how many women are actually taking their husband's last names.
I was going to, and then it all happened, and then I didn't, and now I don't feel
What
the
about
desire.
same-sex couples? Like, who takes whose
I
last
don't
name, or
know.
do you hyphen?
I don't know.
I wonder.
I think they just decide.
Do they just keep their own names?
Are you taking Vito's last name?
Yeah, I am. And I want to. But I do love my last name, Sandoz, just because we have such a strong rooted family history, too.
Yeah.
We can date back to the 1200s where the Sandoz clan came from in Switzerland.
Cool.
And all of the Sandozes in the world are related. And there's 1,200 of them. And we all came from the same bloodline. So I just think that that's so cool.
Yeah.
And also, I kind of just feel like, I don't know, Vito and I have talked about it, and he's open to it, of naming one of our sons with the middle name Sandoz.
That's awesome.
I think that's really cool.
Because
cool.
I just kind of feel, man, I don't know how to say this without being super judged. Like my my older brother and sister are adopted, by my dad. And he's obviously close with them, but not like they were older. Mm-hmm. And so he raised me and my sister from birth, and he's our biological father. So I'm his last like bloodline to have his Sandoz name carried on.
Yeah, in blood, yes.
Right.
Okay.
Not that I think of my older brother and sister as anything less than a brother and sister, because I don't at all.
Yeah. You just mean like genetically.
Or
genetically.
just the name.
Well, the name, I mean, Brandon has his last name.
Because obviously your genetics will get passed down and passed down and passed down. Like, you know, like you're going to continue your dad's genetics for generations.
Right, but it's the name of it. And I'm super into genealogy. I always have been. When I was in third grade, I used to draw pie graphs of what I thought I was, and I'd talk to my grandparents.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I was a total nerded out on genealogy. So I even did the DNA test.
I want to do that.
A couple years ago. And I don't know, I'm super into that and into carrying that on. So I know Vito's open to a middle name being Sandoz or Miles after my dad. So we've talked about it. Nothing's obviously official. But I don't know if I'll keep my name in there or if I'll just be a Presta.
Yeah.
But if I do just become a Presta, I almost feel like a part of me has to grieve not being a Sandoz anymore.
Yeah, maybe that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like, I kind of feel that way.
That's why I go by both, because I feel like my identity as a person is both, you know?
Right.
Like, I've always been a roper, and now all of a sudden I'm a Tolbert, and it's like it's almost like there's this divide of this was me before and this is me after. It feels like it's weird.
This was me before, and then this is me with you.
Yeah.
And this is our life now,
right.
You know?
It's a weird thing. I found the statistic, so it's actually risen that 20% of women married in recent years have kept their names, according to a Google consumer survey. An additional 10% or so chose a third option, such as hyphenating their name or legally changing it while continuing to use their birth name professionally, which is kind of what we do.
Yeah.
Right.
That's another reason, too, is because, like, everything is, like, Carly Wad, Carly Waddell, like...
Right.
People
watch the show know you as Carly Waddell.
Totally. And yeah, I just even like I have a song on iTunes. It's like Carly Waddell. Like it's not Carly Bath.
Yeah, so if you change your name, when people like
Carrie Underwood didn't do it.
Right.
Like I'm Carrie Underwood.
If Carrie Underwood didn't do it, I'm not doing it.
Celine Dion didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's Celine Dion.
She can do whatever she wants. So can we.
Exactly.
By the way, we've been singing Celine Dion all day.
All day long. And Whitney Houston.
Yeah, so good.
So good. Also, so we decided that since we took a girls trip recently, that girls trips are good for the soul and good for the body and good for the mind, but also really
good for the erection.
Good for the erection. Because our men really missed us, but we also really missed them. Mm-hmm. So absence makes the
dick grow longer,
vag grow wetter.
Oh my gosh.
Libido grow stronger. All of the things, and that's really great. So maybe if you're having some sex problems, just go away for a night or two.
Give them some space. Give yourself some space. And then you realize sometimes all you need is just to realize like how good you really have it, or like how much of a team you are, how much you really love somebody, just to kind of like do things like we needed to do, like go on a girls trip, laugh about things we haven't probably laughed about in a long time.
If you don't ever even take just like a girls' night, have a girls' night, let your boo go out on a guys' night.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know. Yeah.
I know Tanner always misses me whenever he goes out of town for something. Like if he like was on a bachelor trip or just like a guy trip, he's always like, "Oh, I just miss you." And it's like nice. It's nice to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's good for relationships.
Oh, totally.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you've been in one for a while, you know, and it's something you like don't really, you know, like if you're stuck in a rut or anything like that too.
Yeah. I mean, earlier I thought that Carly said abstinence makes the heart grow fonder. And I was like, well, my heart is real fond right now.
Which brings me to another topic because Liz said that vaginas can have blue balls.
She says her vagina has blue balls.
It does. This is a fact, and I Googled it, you guys. Sometimes it hurts.
But
What is it that's hurting?
It
Like the
hurts
blood
because
flow?
it wants the
Yes.
D?
Sometimes if I'm like, really, I'll use.
Does it feel like
hormonal.
engorged?
I just feel like it needs. Sometimes I feel like I need sexual release, and if that doesn't happen, I get blue balls.
So you don't just feel like you feel like physically it's like
Yes, physically.
sore.
Your vagina's like signaling you.
I don't know how to describe it.
It's like putting up the
The Batmobile
Oh,
sign.
yes, in the air.
Yes,
The Batman
it is.
The Batman sign. It's like
It
Liz.
does. I think my body just wants to have
SOS.
babies and be sexually active, and I agree with my body. But we're so close. It's so close. But
So close.
It is.
But
It
yet
is a true
so
thing.
far.
Women, it is far. It's 118 days.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's far.
What were you saying?
No, but women can have blue balls as well. I don't think that's the right term for it, but if you
don't
research
know.
it, it is.
I don't know if I believe in this.
I am living proof of this, Jade, that this is a thing.
Well, my vagina has never been like, Jade.
First of all, your vagina sounds like a 90-year-old woman.
Well, I'm just like thinking of it like all of a sudden, like,
I'm over here.
I know. Well, that's right, because it's rusty and hasn't been,
Oh, got it.
you know, it's falling apart down there, and
That's
it's telling me it
true.
needs to be brought back to life, but I don't know.
Mine tells me that every single day.
Yeah, no, I think we were talking about how your JJ is just the plant off of Little Shop of Horrors,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
it's like, feed me, Vito.
Suddenly, Vito.
I can't wait till after we get married and I tell you guys about all the sex we're having.
Oh my gosh. And then we're going to be like, oh my God, we're so jealous.
And then I'll be like, then just do it. And you'll be like, no.
I'm so tired.
That's exactly how the
7
conversation's
p.m.
going to go.
I know, that's sad.
Oh my gosh. So funny.
You know what okay, so being far away also brings up another topic, phone sex.
Oh yeah, you've never had.
I've never had it.
Okay, wait.
I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like, hey, like, dude, I don't know.
But no, but nowadays you can like FaceTime sex, which is different than like old school phone
Okay,
sex.
so old school phone sex was
just
like
audio.
Oh, it was audio?
Well, okay, old phone sex. You
Oh,
should just
sorry.
be dirty
I was
talking.
thinking like
Sexting?
internet sex, like messaging on like
cyber
AIM.
sex.
Cyber sex. That was first, right?
No,
That was phone sex was first.
and then cyber sex,
Then
and now
cyber sex.
FaceTime sex.
Now FaceTime, but that's like a lot because that's like showing all of the parts.
Yeah.
which is better, but also like whoa.
Right.
I don't know if I could do it.
Sometimes
guys.
when you're far away from each other, you have to do what you got to do.
yeah,
Yeah.
Keeping it funky fresh.
yeah. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. Maybe one day after a couple shots of tequila,
Right?
one day feeling.
I think we should challenge you to try this.
Oh my
Next
gosh.
time Evan's out of town,
I'm scared.
spark up a little combo.
Just start a FaceTime and just be in something sexy
Oh, or nothing at all.
or nothing.
But the only scary thing about that is that he answers that and he's like in front of people.
oh,
my
true.
God.
You'd have to know that he's back at his hotel room
And-
alone.
yeah.
Maybe you just wear a robe and then you just drop it.
There you go.
You know what I have always wanted to do? Go up to like someone. Well, I mean before Evan. I mean I could do this to Evan, but like go up to a front door and be like knock knock knock, and then they answer and you just drop the robe.
Oh, I've done that, and so has Liz.
What? God
a trench,
damn it!
like a trench coat.
I've never done any of this. Why am I living under a sexual rock?
It's a great question, but we did read your birthday thing today.
Oh yeah,
There's like this book and it says like the meaning of your birthdays, and for
mine
Carly's,
says under a sexual rock. No, I'm just kidding.
it said you need to explore yourself more and not have walls up against that.
Against the penis.
I don't know. It was like don't have walls up against like letting yourself explore new things.
Yeah, okay. I like to explore new places. I don't like to explore new parts of myself, really. I'm like, oh, I'm good with this. I'm good how I am.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that makes me uncomfortable. I'm not really going to explore that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I should go get a new trench coat. It's cold.
I know what to get you for Christmas.
Yes.
Everyone send Carly trench coats. She'll get the hint.
Listen, there's multiple
do this.
colors. One for every day of the week. It's like those underwear.
Oh my gosh.
Like Monday is yellow. Tuesday is... Yeah, I can have that.
It's actually more of a gift for Evan.
Yeah.
No, and herself.
And herself. That's true.
Yeah, because you need to explore those parts. Maybe you'll like them.
Maybe
Like
I
we
will.
talked about your woman in the cage inside.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
She needs to be free.
Free her. I don't know what that was. But
Free her. Free the message dancer.
I don't know how we ended there.
I don't know.
Free your mind and husband. Yeah, she says, okay, got it.
Okay. We're on the right page. Yes.
I actually used this app the other day called Talkspace, and I think therapy is so beneficial, but I have the hardest time actually going to a therapist because I feel very vulnerable sitting in front of somebody and I feel like exposed. And even though they're not supposed to be judging me, I have a hard time sharing my honest feelings. And on Talkspace, it's anonymous and you can actually just do text messaging if you want. And I did that the other day, and it actually was really nice to just have a professional and have a safe space for me to go to. And so if anyone's feeling like that, I would definitely recommend downloading the app Talkspace, or you can do it on your laptop or your computer.
It's amazing because you can just get something off your chest like whenever you want to, and you can talk about everyday challenges like at work or home or life. And I mean, there's no extra commutes and leaving the office. You can just do it from your phone. Like there's nothing better than that. And also, like, I always think like therapy isn't just about venting like your innermost thoughts or digging into childhood memories. It's like practical everyday strategies like stress management, just living a happier life, and having a therapist simply like provides you a designated person for you to talk to who's like trained to listen, and then they'll just help you make positive changes.
Yeah. And what's cool about the Talkspace platform is that they have over 2,000 licensed therapists who are experienced in addressing life challenges that we all face every day. To match with a perfect therapist for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, go to Talkspace.com/babes and use the code BABES to get $45 off your first month and show your support for this show. That's babes and Talkspace.com/babes. This is super random, but do you know what song I always loved ever since I was little was En Vogue, Free Your Mind.
The rest will follow.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah. Speaking of other things that we loved when we were kids, did you guys have childhood crushes? When was your first childhood crush? Who was the first guy you ever remember liking?
Jonathan Roberts in kindergarten.
I think we talked about that. Yeah. He was like, but we went to a really small school. There was like 12 boys. And
Did you both like the same person?
12 people total.
At different times.
Everybody,
Everyone had a crush on
everybody
him.
had a crush on
liked
him. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we said like he was like the Devin Sawa, the Jonathan Taylor Thomas of our school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone thought he was a cute kid.
Yeah.
He was a super cute kid.
Yeah.
And then I also remember this guy that used to visit our church sometimes. I don't remember his name, but I always thought he was super cute
Yeah.
when I was really little. Yeah.
Well, there you are, Mr. Church Crush. Yeah, we're talking to you.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's like 20 years
This
older
reminds
than
me of that movie I want you guys to watch, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, because
I saw it.
she writes
I
5
haven't
love
seen
letters to her 5 like major crushes throughout life.
Who is this person? Who's
so-
this actress?
I don't know her name. I know her. What's the character's name? It's like Lara Jean. I don't know. You have to watch it. It's so good. They're young. They're like little teenagers or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So it's cute. It's so cute.
It's cute.
But yeah, that's like reminds me of that. Like you're saying, I had like my church crush, and then I had my school crush.
I do remember though, John Roberts and I were boyfriend and girlfriend, I think in like 7th grade for like a week. We were passing notes to each other. And Mrs. Metz caught us and took them from us. And I didn't want her to read them. So during break, I went into her office and stole them back.
Whoa.
Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? That is so bad.
That's the worst thing I've ever did in school. And then I got in trouble and then I got detention.
That's brave.
That is so
You
brave.
got- they caught you?
What did
Yeah.
they say, though?
I think I turned myself in. I'm not sure.
Wait, but
think
what
I
did
was
the
so
note say that was
nervous.
so bad?
No, it wasn't anything bad. It was probably just like just stupid stuff. You get embarrassed easily in junior high. You know what I
instead
mean?
you stole them.
I went into her office and stole them out of her desk.
She took back what was hers.
Yeah, you took back
And then I had detention for a week.
Wow.
I had never got detention before. That was the only time.
That's crazy.
I never got it either.
I don't remember that.
I think it was
Did you get
7th grade.
detention, Jade?
Not when I was like young.
Did
in
you
high
get it
school, I
ever?
did. Yeah.
What'd you do?
I drank at a high school dance. I had in school suspension for 5 days.
Oh my gosh.
That's bad.
Yeah.
What are you doing in school suspension?
Sit in the cafeteria and
You
do
sit
nothing.
there?
Yeah, you can't talk to
Did
anybody.
other people get caught too?
I think that sounds awesome. I'd rather go sit by myself in the cafeteria than have to freaking talk to people.
Yeah, but then you can't. Then they give you all your homework and you don't know what you're doing
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
if you care about homework, which I did.
I did. Yeah.
Which I did.
Yeah. You know what I just remembered? This is so funny. Like, we're doing a podcast right now. The first broadcasting I ever had was in high school, and I did announcements.
Wow.
I forgot about that until right now.
So you like read like the daily
Yeah. Did the
Can you
pledge, all
can
the
you-
things.
Can you do that voice?
I think it was this exact
It's
same
exact
one.
same one.
Wait, you didn't tell us your childhood crush.
Oh, I think it was in preschool.
Oh.
And I honestly can't remember his name. Isn't that sad? But I remember being like, he is so cute. I like him.
I remember my preschool crush. His name was Christopher.
Christopher. I feel
Yeah.
like maybe his name was Adam, but maybe that was also not
Did I
his name.
tell that story?
I don't know.
So when I was in preschool, I went to a Catholic school. And even though I grew up Christian, but my parents just wanted me in a private school, or a religious school, I guess. And so that was the only one in Sterling, Colorado before I moved to Scottsbluff. There's this little boy named Christopher, and we were at recess, and we were supposed to line up to go back in. And he was always the last one in line. And he was going to get in trouble again because he always got in trouble. And this school had like nuns. It was like nuns and deacons and all this stuff. And the nuns were getting mad at him. And so he ran up to me in line, and he was like, can I like cut in line because I'm going to get in trouble by the nuns? And I was like, by the nuns?
Oh my gosh. Nuns are scary.
So I was like, sure, whatever. You can go ahead and crush him. I was like, yeah, you can cut in line. And my best friend was right behind me. And he turns around and he goes, thanks. And he gave me a kiss on the cheek. And inside I was like, oh my God.
Oh my
like,
gosh,
I was like
yes.
freaking out. But then I turned around to my friend and I saw she had a disgusted look on her face. So then I turned around and I go, ew. And I acted like I hated it. But I was like, it was like the best day ever.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
That is so cute.
I tattled on a kid who he was like running on the playground. He kept coming up and kissing me on the cheek. And I was like, he keeps kissing me. Can you please tell him to stop? And then he got in trouble.
Aw.
Poor boy. All I want to do is kiss me. Oh, gosh.
I don't know how this is relevant in any way. I just remember, I was just thinking about playing with kids outside and school memories. And I used to have tons of dreams at CCS, the school we went through, kindergarten to
I still
8th
have
grade.
CCS dreams.
Yeah, but I just have this, you just have a memory that sticks with you. And in 4th grade, I remember I was sitting in class and Landon Clark was sitting behind me and I was like doing something and I sneezed and I farted at the same time. And he goes, you just farted. I go, no, I didn't. I sneezed. He's like, you farted. I was like, no, I didn't. I think because how you were saying like, oh, you pretended then that you were disgusted. I think as when you're young, you're just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't want to be judged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And now
not
I'd be
at
like,
all.
I'm so sorry. I just crop dusted you. I'm so sorry about that.
One of Tanner's favorite things to do in public is just crop dust.
Oh, God.
He loves it.
I think that's
I know.
awesome.
The other day, Evan was in Chicago with his friends, and I hadn't talked to him in like hours, and all of a sudden I get this text, and it says, have you ever heard me fart at night in the bed?
Evan asked you this?
Yes. And I'm with my mom, and I'm like, Evan just asked me the weirdest question ever. She's like, what is it? I'm like, have you ever heard him fart at night in the bed? And I was like, I don't think so. I think maybe I smelled a fart once, but that could have been my own. I was like, but I've never heard you fart.
Oh my gosh.
And he goes, yes, I just won. And he was like with his friends, and his friends were like, 100% she's heard you. And he was like, no way. And he's correct. I've never heard Evan fart.
I've woken myself up.
That's what I said. I said, I think woke myself up last night farting.
Yeah.
And he was like, you did? And I was like, no. Just kidding.
I mean, just kidding. Never.
No. But yeah, I think I did.
So he's literally never farted in front of you.
Nope. I never pooped.
Why?
We don't do that. I think he's heard me like fart when I was pregnant. Like if I was like in the bathroom or something, you know, sometimes they just come out.
I always act disgusted at Tanner's farts, and they do smell, but it's also like kind of funny. I'm always
hilarious.
I'm always like laughing on the inside, even though I'm like scolding him on the outside.
Yeah, I'm so used to my brother's farting.
It's a bad, Liz.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I don't know.
Vito always says that mine could peel paint off walls, but
oh my gosh.
His don't smell for the most part, but he farts all the time. But then sometimes they do. And I remember one time we were sleeping, and his fart smelled so bad it woke me up. And he didn't believe me because his farts never smell. And I was like, babe, no. When you're sleeping, sometimes when you fart, they wake me up because it smells so bad.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like a rotten egg. Like, it's just like you like
my
adjust
brothers smell like rotten eggs.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, Evan won't do it. He just won't.
I don't know. I feel like that's the key to a closer relationship. Like the next deepest level you could ever get to. No,
he's already seen a baby come out of my vagina and hemorrhoids basically growing out of my ass like grapes. Like we're close.
No. We're close. We're pretty close.
We're close.
That's funny.
On another note.
Okay, so now that we're back, we have a fun question and answer. I love these question and answers. I feel like we're very connected to our people when we do these. And I feel like I get to know more about you guys, and that's really fun. But before we get to that, stay tuned. Liz has some interesting things to tell us.
So I'm going to talk about kind of birth around the world a little bit.
Ooh.
And the first one is, so there's this lady in Africa who has the most children in the world. She has 44
How many
children.
is it?
44.
Oh my God.
44?
She's considered to be the most fertile woman in the world.
Wait a second. What does her vagina look like?
I don't know.
Do the kids just like pop out? I want to know everything.
I mean, I don't know tons about her, but I know that she's considered to be the most fertile woman in the world. It's good luck. She's had sets of quintuplets.
Wow.
Like a few sets of quintuplets, some twins. Like she continually has multiples. So it wasn't 44 separate births.
Whoa.
Okay.
That makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, but
why does
still,
it make me feel
like
better? I don't know.
15 to 20 births, like 50, which is still a lot.
That's crazy.
But yeah, this guy actually went to go study birthing there. So I don't know all of the information, but that blew my mind.
Okay, well, you probably don't, so you don't have this information, but she must live, I don't want to sound ignorant, but she must live like in a village that, I know like a lot of African villages, like the women help raise each other's children because like who's helping her raise her children?
Right.
I wonder like how quickly did she get pregnant after she had that one? And does she get pregnant while breastfeeding? See, it's not a thing for her. She just gets pregnant.
She's in Uganda.
She's in Uganda.
Okay.
She's 40 years old and has 44 kids.
What?
Yeah.
Stop it. No.
Yes.
This can't be real.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's 40 and she has 44 kids.
So she has gave birth to 6 sets of twins, 4 sets of triplets, 3 sets of quadruples, and then has had a couple of single births.
Oh my God. Wait, when did she? So first off, how many births is that? Secondly, when did she start?
Wait, how many births is that? 6
I
or 4?
don't know.
That's
We should have done this math previously.
13.
Started really
Yeah, 13 and then a couple of single births, so around 15.
Wow.
But
Okay.
yeah, she must have started pretty young.
That's
so
wild.
she gave birth to her first set of twins at age 13.
Dang, girl.
Dang, girl.
I know.
I mean, that's when, people used to have babies. That's when you start your period, right? Well, some people do. I did.
Same.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, and like tradition and over there and culture over there is so different, So for us, we're like, it's like almost unfathomable, but over there, that's the norm.
Right.
Well, a few other crazy birth facts, though. So the youngest mother ever reported was a 5-year-old girl in Peru who gave birth to a baby in 1939.
No, that's not right.
That can't be right.
Her father took her to the doctor for an abnormal abdomen growth, and tests found that she was 7 months pregnant.
Okay, but like, who's the asshole that did that?
Right, yeah. No idea.
I will find you.
Well, he's probably dead now. It was
I know, but
1939.
That's crazy.
That rubs me in the wrong way, and
all of that is
makes
bad.
me so sad.
Right. And then there's the world's longest pregnancy, which was 375 days, so over a year long. And the baby weighed a little less than 7 pounds. So it was a normal size baby. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand.
You guys, my mind is exploding.
Yeah. And then there's a poor Russian woman who during the 18th century, she gave birth to 69 children. So I think that was like the most really reported for like a woman. Like 69. Men in history, you think about it, men had hundreds of children because they just slept with everyone. And, their concubines gave them babies and their wives gave them babies and whatever. But one single woman having 69 children.
So the other lady with 44 children. Oh, she's like the alive lady.
Alive.
Okay.
Yes. So
that's nuts.
Nick Vial's mom has like 11 children, and I thought that I was like, wow, you're like a strong woman, but 69.
Yeah, it's so crazy. My grandma was one of 9, but I was reading up on some birth stuff too, and they were talking about how though when you have kids, you actually almost get a little bit smarter. I know sometimes it feels like you don't. They said when you're pregnant, the baby absorbs the nutrient first, so you're getting what's left over. So there is such thing as pregnancy brain, but after you have a baby, your level of efficiency, your reflex skills, all those things get way heightened.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think because now you're
I just
protection.
dropped like 12 things this morning.
All of the things. And out of all these crazy babies born, I know that doctors give everyone like a due date, but only 5% of babies are actually born on their due date.
Yeah,
Weird.
I knew that for some reason.
5%.
Right.
Man,
So whenever
Bella's
my
just
clients,
one day off.
oh wow, that's so close.
She was one day early.
Yeah.
Her due date was the 16th.
Yeah. Whenever people tell me like, well, I'm due around here. And then when moms get impatient, when they're like, okay, I'm just ready, blah, 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 blah. Your due date's just kind of a loose date. Like your baby's going to come when it's ready.
That's so stressful though. I just wish they wouldn't even tell you that.
Yeah, well,
Right.
they should just call it your estimated date because it really is just an estimation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mom said both of my brothers are 3 weeks late.
Really?
3 weeks. Can you imagine that? You're just sitting.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
yes, lots of people listening are like, yep, had that happen. But
Yeah.
I mean, I would just be like, get out of me.
Yeah. 2 of my siblings were 2 weeks late.
Ooh.
So, and then I think I was early, and I think I don't know what Nikki was. She was probably around her due date, but none of us were born on our due dates.
My goodness. Oof.
I was 5 days late. Yeah, 5 days late.
My mom says she doesn't remember anything with me. She's like, I don't know, you're my third, and I don't really remember. I'm like,
Right?
that's so rude.
The youngest, it literally doesn't matter.
Yeah. She was like so happy to get me because I was a girl and then forgot all about my life.
That's because she was chasing around 2 boys. Can you imagine?
I know. It's
Denton and Zach as little
crazy.
kids.
I mean, they were nuts.
Oh, yeah.
They were absolutely crazy.
It's funny.
Speaking of, oh no, I don't think I can say that. I can say that they found out the sex. My brother Zach found out the sex of their baby, but they haven't announced it, so I'll wait till they announce it to announce
That's
it.
so exciting. When is she due?
Maybe I ruined something. April.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. So I'm like, we were on pins and needles the other day, like 8:45. She was going in for ultrasound, and we were like, oh my gosh, come on. And I was actually the only one in the family that guessed right.
Oh.
I went against what everybody said.
Oh.
Used to be defiant.
Kylie. Yeah.
And then I won. I mean, I didn't win anything, but I feel like
you won.
But I won.
Well, I'm super excited to answer all the questions.
Oh wait, I have a bad mom story.
Oh my gosh! Okay, yeah.
Yes.
We haven't done one in a while, and something happened the other day that was pretty funny. So, Emmy had her 15-month pediatrician checkup.
Oh yeah.
And we were at the doctor's, and the nurse came in. Everything, it was whatever. Everything was good, and then the doctor came in, and I don't know. Oh, I think we were talking about Emmy not walking yet, and we had her kind of sitting on the ground, and she gets on, like, kind of like leans forward on her hands and acts like she's gonna lick the floor. And like, here it is. Like, you want to like always, I don't know if you're like this, but when you go to your pediatrician, you always want to feel like your baby and you are like on your best behavior. And like, I'm like winning at life and she's doing awesome. And Emmy like almost starts licking the floor. And I was like, oh my God, I've never seen her do that before. And I picked her up and I was like, I don't know why she's trying to lick the floor. And the doctor was like, yeah, you know, if she had done that, you'd probably come back in 2 weeks with diarrhea. And I'm like, oh crap.
Oh my gosh.
My baby's a genius, licks the floor.
I know, right? And so then the other day I was like, I'm trying to think about why she was doing that. And Emmy was in her high chair and she was throwing, every time she's like done eating, she throws food on the floor and the dogs eat it up and the dogs lick the floor. So
oh my God.
The other day she was sitting on the ground with a little granola bar and she starts feeding the dogs little pieces of her granola bar and the dogs are licking the floor and she leans down to lick the floor. And I'm like,
stop.
She's trying to be like the dog.
That's so cute.
So here I am like letting my daughter like feed our dogs and them licking the floor, which probably is kind of gross anyways, but it's easy cleanup. And she's trying to be like the dogs. But the first time she's ever done it, she does it in the doctor's office right in front of the doctor.
Funny. Yeah, I mean, it's so typical. It's like they know.
I know. Right. It was so embarrassing. I was like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. I look like I let my child lick the floor all the time.
You know what I don't understand about kids? They have like a sixth sense of like Bella wants to get into everything that's like that she shouldn't. She doesn't want any of her toys, but she wants this little piece of fuzz that's like 10 steps away, or she wants the remote control, or she wants the like anything that she should, or my phone, and she chews on my phone. It's not even to play with or look at. She just wants to eat it. And like, I'm like, how do you know? She knows where my phone is at all times, and she knows where the little piece of trash is, like the little piece of cardboard, like that's like around the corner. It's like she has this sixth sense and she knows it's there, and then she goes gets it, and I'm like, how do you have all of these things? This is what you choose?
Oh yeah. It's so funny. I don't know why. I think they just like, well, the phone's not new, but they like new things. They're like, I've never seen this before.
That's true.
But they also
it's just so funny. Like the little pieces of trash. I'm like, how? There's no trash in this room, and you find the piece of trash that is like less than an inch long. Mm-hmm. Like what? And it's so funny.
Yep. So true. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm kind of at the point where Evan will be like, she really shouldn't be chewing on that. And I'm like, yeah, but look, she's happy. And, like, and she's not mad right now. So just let her chew on it. Like if it's not dangerous. I'm like, oh, she's chewing on like the wipe packet. I don't care. Let her chew.
Right.
You know, like she's chewing on this thing. I don't care. Let her chew. Whatever.
That's
Whatever.
So
she has 5 teeth now, and they're really cute. But she chews on everything. Yeah.
You posted a picture the other day where I could see more of her teeth.
Oh my God.
Like a month ago, it was just her snaggletooth.
The snaggletooth still is pretty snaggly.
But the other ones have like come in more around it. So it's not as prominent.
She has this big gap in between them, and it's really cute.
Oh, it's so cute.
Little gap tooth baby.
Emmy has a gap too. I think maybe
maybe everybody does.
Yeah, maybe most babies do until the rest push them together.
I love gap teeth though. When like people have gaps in their teeth, I don't know why. I just love it.
I used to have a huge one. Do you remember?
Yeah. Well, the reason I remember this story so much, well, I mean, Jade had a little, it wasn't huge. You had a gap between your 2 front teeth until like you got braces, I think, right?
In 8th grade.
So, but the reason I love Jade's gap so much, even though it's not there anymore, is her dad would tell this story about her when she was little. Can I tell the worm story?
Oh, sure.
Oh, God.
Jade was outside playing in the dirt, and her dad comes outside, and he's like, what are you doing? And she smiles at him, and she has a worm stuck between her gap that she was eating.
Yeah.
You were eating a worm.
So I was 2.5, and my cousin was over, and we were playing underneath the swing set. And I guess it was pretty in my backyard at that time. I remember it kind of being kind of rocky and dirty under the swing set. And my cousin Crystal runs in. She goes, Uncle Laren, Jade's eating worms. And my dad was like, what? He's like, no. And so he walks outside, and I'm in the dirt, and he can't see my face. And he was like, Jade, what are you doing? And I turn around and I smile, and I just have a chunk of worm hanging out of my gap.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Yeah. Kids are just there's something moving, or there's some weird thing.
Yeah,
I'm going to put it in my mouth.
Yep. Jade's eating worms.
You know what, Jade? Your kid almost licked the
that.
floor. You ate worms. It
same.
happens.
Same.
That is so funny.
Yeah. That is funny.
So you guys, when you think of the perfect gift, you probably don't think of an electric toothbrush. But you guys, there's something that you will use every day, and it is a toothbrush, and it's also on Oprah's O list, and it's perfect for everyone who has a mouth, and that is a Quip toothbrush that I'm obsessed with. You guys, I love Oprah so much, and anything that Oprah says is the best thing always is the best thing. I'm serious.
I like how
you guys know how much I love her.
If you have a mouth.
If you have a mouth, you need this. You need this Quip toothbrush. And it's super easy for travel.
Yes. It's it doesn't have one of those chunky chargers. One charge lasts for 3 months at a time. So it is the gift that keeps refreshing with the brush heads, because they automatically deliver on a dentist recommended schedule every 3 months for just $5. And you can even gift prepaid refills for a year to make sure that they're never using old, worn out, or ineffective bristles. I love the Quip toothbrush because it vibrates to let you know to change sides. It's timed out for you, so I know I'm brushing my teeth for the recommended amount of time, and I'm getting
it's
fresh...
smarter than a human.
Right, and I don't have to think about it. It's the end of the day, and I can just mindlessly brush my teeth and then switch sides, and then I know I brushed them for 2 minutes. And I get a fresh toothbrush head every 3 months, so I know that I'm taking really good care of my teeth.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. They also have over 5,000 verified 5-star reviews, which I'm that freak that always goes and looks at the reviews.
I do too.
Quip looks like a big ticket tech gift with a stocking stuffer price starting at just $25. And if you go to getquip.com/babes right now and get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush, but you don't have to tell your giftee that. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/babes. All right. Well, should we get down to this and answer the Q&A?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Should we just go in order of this?
Sure.
Okay. I'll ask you, Carly. So
Okay.
This question, I actually think people want to know a lot from you about blended families, and it's what's blended family life like for you? And do you or do you not discipline the boys at all?
Oh, so here's the thing about if they're doing something really bad, I would, but they're not bad. Evan's kids are, first off, they're old. I mean, the youngest is 10, and then we have a 13 and 17-year-old, and the 13 and 17-year-old play with each other. They'll be hey, let's go fake fight, and then it turns into a real fight, but then they just run downstairs and they're he hit me, no, he hit me, and then they're just mad and storm off, and they figure it out. But they don't really do anything that's bad enough to discipline, I suppose. But Evan's always around, so they run to their dad, they don't run to me.
Have you ever sent them to their room? Have you ever just been you know what, go to your room?
They've never been bad.
That's crazy.
I mean, there was one time, the oldest, Nathan, he Evan was out of town and he did something and he got like really mad and threw his phone. His phone broke. And then he comes upstairs. I like walk inside and his phone is sitting there just like shattered. And I was like, I knew like he obviously did something. And so he's like, can I go to this thing at school tonight? And I was like, no. And he goes, why not? And I go, because you obviously just threw your phone and shattered it. And he's like, so? And I was like, so then you're not going. And he was like, okay, fine. And then he just like went downstairs. And he wasn't like mad at me. I think he understood that like you can't do something bad and then ask for a favor. You know?
Right.
But I don't know. That's like, really the worst I've even come across. Like, and he was mad because he like got a bad grade at school. So he threw his phone because he was mad at himself. So even that, I just kind of felt bad anyway. But, yeah, they're just not bad. If they were bad and it was like me alone with them, I would. But one, I'm not really ever, Evan's like in town way more than he used to be. He used to be out of town all the time. And two, they're just, I don't know, they're really good kids. Like, I mean, since I've known them, there's never been, every time I walk through a door, they open the door for me. Every
That's
time,
so
like,
nice.
I buy them dinner, they say thank you. Like, they ask, hey, can I help you bring the groceries in? Like, they are very good, very respectful children.
That's
They're not
so
like,
nice.
That's very
Yeah,
impressive.
and it's different than having, like, if they were 2, 3, 4, 5, like, it's just a totally different ballgame.
Right.
So lots of people that are listening, I'm sure, are like, well, my stepchildren are 5 and crazy. And yes, that's got to be very difficult. I just don't happen to run into that.
Right.
But we should talk to Evan about blended families one day.
Yeah.
Because I know he has, like, thoughts about things
Yeah, for sure.
that I don't have. But anyway.
Yeah, we'll have to do like a bigger podcast or a longer topic or conversation about it.
And, we could also have people who, like, want to know more about that, send in questions about that. And then Evan and I could do, like, maybe a 15-minute segment on it one day or something and then add it in. Not that we're experts, because we're clearly not, but you might have some advice to offer.
But we're doing it. You're real life.
One day at a time. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, if you're relatable, like, there's people who are experts on things for sure. But it's so different when you're in the situation, when you're going through it and then people are like, oh, I've been there. Or you can tell someone like, I've been there. I've been the woman coming into these kids' life, going to be their new mom.
Right.
Like, I've been there. I know what that feels like,
Right. And I feel like, the boys have a mom. So I've always tried to make, they know that, and she knows that, and I'm not trying to play the part of the mom. I'm trying to play the part of the, extra additional mom who's always there if they need something. And that's kind of been, I think, my place. I knew coming in, I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. She doesn't like me anyway, so I really didn't want to step on anybody's toes, and I think that was just kind of the best route for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of trying to be respectful of the family that was kind of already there, just in a new situation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Okay, next question.
Yeah, so would either of you, speaking of blended families, would either of you guys ever consider adoption?
100%.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Liz?
Yeah, I would for sure.
Yeah.
It's something Vito and I have talked a lot about because we definitely want kids. We don't know if we can have kids because we've never tried to make babies. So it's definitely something that we've talked about. Like, if we can't get pregnant, adoption would probably be our first option. But we would probably wait. We'd probably travel a couple more years, enjoy married life a few more years, and then adopt.
And see if it happens.
Yeah. And we've also talked about, like, maybe after we have a few kids, possibly adopting. I think for men, it's just so much scarier because he's the one that would think about, he'd be like, okay, well, what if you adopt a psycho who murders your family? I think that's where, like, men's thoughts go. You know what I mean? Where they're like, okay, what if we adopt, like, an 8-year-old who then does something horrible.
Yeah.
Because I know a couple who they adopted this 8-year-old kid, and he just put them through so much. And so there is a lot that comes with it, but I mean, there's so many kids out there that need help.
Yeah, I think if you're adopting not from birth, that's something that you have to know that you're risking, that you're going into that not knowing a child's behavioral past, not knowing their physical, emotional past. And it's kind of, I mean, they kind of should have known that that can happen a lot. I mean, you don't know what kind of trauma a kid has been through, you know.
Right.
If they're going through an adoption, there's probably something already in their past. If they're, you know, especially an 8-year-old, they've probably been through the foster system or whatever. So, but yeah, that sucks in a way, but you kind of, I feel like that's something you have to feel like you're going to be there for that kid, even if they've giving you hell. I don't know. Tanner is, okay, so when we first got married, he was absolutely against adoption. And I was really sad about that because I've always wanted to adopt. But then we've been watching This Is Us, and I really think it's like softening the heart.
So good. Yeah.
And I the other day we were talking about it, and he mentioned something that he wouldn't be so against it anymore, which is such like a 180. So
yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, who knows what life path is in store, but I just think adoption is amazing, and there's so many kids who deserve love. So yeah,
totally agree.
Yeah, and I know that we plan on getting somebody on here who has adopted, because we've had a lot of people ask about that. So,
yeah.
You know, Evan's oldest, actually, he did adopt him from,
that's right.
From his, so Evan's ex-wife was previously married and had Nathan. And then when she married Evan adopted him when he was 2. So it would be like another adoption for Evan. But, you know, Evan's always looked at him as his son anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's similar to what my dad did. My dad adopted my 2 oldest siblings.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So.
It's really cool.
Speaking of Evan, and Tanner and Vito, somebody asked, what habits do they have that bother us?
Oh, all of them. Every
when
habit.
he breathes.
Depends on the day of the week for me. Well, let's see.
I have one.
Okay.
And Vito knows it. So we've been going through this premarital counseling course, which at first I was like, this isn't going to help that much because we already communicate really well. Sorry. We read good. But it actually has brought up a lot. And we did it on our drive to Texas and coming back, and we argued a few times, but it was like good, healthy arguments, like trying to work out some of these questions that the book was asking us. And one thing that I love about Vito is, and we've talked about this before, he like motivates me. He's like, get up and go. Like, what are you going to accomplish today? You know, and I love that because I'm like, get up and mosey around and take my time and be like, I crossed one thing off my list. I'm the most productive person in the world. So, but he is so like on the go, like we gotta go. And I'll like stop and give him a kiss. And he's like, come on, like get ready. And I'm like, stop and kiss me for 10 seconds. And he's like, I just did kiss you. Like, come on, get your shoes on. And I'm like, babe, like I just want him to pause everything. And like, who cares? To add 10 more seconds on, like just stop and kiss me and slow down for a second. He's like, yeah, we got to go. And I'm like, no, like, you know, like,
yeah,
it drives me crazy. Cause I'll like kiss him and he'll be like, come on, like, let's get ready. And I'm like, I am, but I want to kiss you. And he's like, but let's get ready. And then sometimes like, I'll feel rejected, you know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want him
to be in the moment with you
right.
Is it only in the morning that bothers you?
No, it's through, like, it's always at random times. Because it'll be like, we were getting ready to go to his nephew's birthday party, and we were going to be late. So we're
late anyway. What's 10 seconds?
Exactly. So I'm just like, just stop. Pay attention to me.
That's really cute. You guys stop and kiss each other like that.
I remember those days.
And that's like what I tell him though too. I'm like, I want to enjoy this while it lasts. Like we're in that in love stage, and not saying that we're not going to be in love later, but life only gets busier. Like once you add kids and once you whatever, it's like I would love to stop and kiss you, but our kid just pooped all over themselves and the dog pooped in the corner. So do you want to clean that up or do you want to kiss me right now? Like, you know what I mean? So I've been getting really into investing since Vito and I have been doing the premarital book. There's a whole section on your finances and a budget that you guys need to come to agree on. Cause let's face it, couples always fight about money. But Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, and they make it super easy for you. There's no commission fees, and other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, but Robinhood doesn't charge commission fees. They trade stocks, and you keep all of your benefits. So it's not intimidating because I don't know anything about investing, but I really want to get into it so that we can plan for our future.
The Robinhood app is also easy to use. Like you said, Liz, it's not intimidating and you can learn as you go. You learn by doing, learn how to invest as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks and track favorite companies with personalized newsfeed and your custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest.
And Robinhood is giving listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help build your portfolio. That's so cool. Sign up at babes.robinhood.com. That's babes.robinhood.com.
Jay, do you still kiss Tanner? Like, a lot? Do you and Tanner still kiss?
Yeah. Well, so honestly, this is kind of a weird answer, but since I stopped breastfeeding, I feel like more attracted to him again. And it's just really weird how hormones are like that. And so lately I've been like a little bit like where I'll stop and look at him. Like yesterday he got a new haircut and I was like, he looks so handsome. And I just went up and like hugged him and kissed him. And I was like really surprised at myself because there's been months where I didn't like feel, it didn't cross my brain at all. Like it wasn't like I was purposely not doing it. It just wasn't a thought. And now those thoughts are kind of coming back. So
that's awesome.
It's kind of nice. Yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah. And I know he appreciates it, but there's been times where I didn't even think about it. And I feel really bad.
That's how I am. I know. There's times whenever I'm ovulating, I'm always like, ooh, you know, like I can tell. I'm like, oh God, I'm like, I really want him right now. So I should probably be careful, you know?
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, he'll come over like when he leaves and stuff and like kiss me on the forehead and stuff.
That's cute.
Sometimes it's cute, but sometimes I'm like, okay, grandpa, you know what I mean? Like, kiss me on the lips, like slap my ass or something. Like, come on.
Okay, but that's a habit of Evan that annoys you.
Yeah, it does. There's lots of things that annoy me. Evan is really bad at telling me things are happening. Like, but he's bad with everybody at that. So he'll be like, oh, I didn't tell you that I was going to be gone all day because I had all these meetings, or, oh, I didn't tell you that we had a game tonight, or, oh, I didn't tell you that this and that. I mean, I didn't tell you I was going out of town. I didn't tell you I was this. And I'm like, no, you didn't. You didn't tell him any of that. And then he's like, oh, I remember telling you, but he didn't. That's his biggest, that drives me absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm.
That's my biggest one.
It's like maybe you remember having the thought that you should tell me, but you actually didn't.
100%.
You didn't tell me because I know.
He's making things up. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that's the biggest, I think, fight we get into because I'm like, you never told me that. Oh, I didn't? Oh, well, I thought I did. Nope, you didn't. And now it's like chaos around here. Or like 5 minutes before, oh, well, we have that thing at 10 a.m. What are you talking about? It's like 9:45. Oh, yeah, you know, I told you like, oh, did I not tell you? No. And then we're just like hustling to like get out the door because we have something at 10. Like, what is that even? What is
you
that?
need one of those like big wall calendars and like every Sunday be like, Evan, write down the things for the week, the appointments, the whatever.
Oh, but they don't want to be accountable. They don't.
I know.
They don't want to.
That's part of what I think it is. I think part of it is that like he said things like, well, I knew if I told you that you'd get stressed out, so I just didn't tell you till last minute. And I'm like, that's so stressful. Messed up. I can't even deal because now I'm in panic mode when I could have been like, yes, super stressed out for a few days, but not in like panic mode.
Right.
You know? What about Tanner?
I'm trying to think. So like I got like some funny little ones. So I hate that he drinks milk out of the carton. And I hate that he'll do it at the dinner table, and I hate that he farts at the dinner table while I'm eating.
Ew.
And I hate that he will like always, I swear to God, he always comes into a room and farts on purpose.
Ew, that's like my brother's.
It's so gross. I'm like, well, I'm brushing my teeth. I'm like, or I'm doing
They
something
think
like,
it's
why
so
did you have to come in
funny.
here and fart? Like, I hate it.
Because it's just funny to them.
I know.
Like you're only laughing at your own joke.
Well, but then he always acts like it just slipped out. I didn't mean to. I'm like, Tanner, I know you pushed it. I can tell.
You can totally tell.
I know.
You pushed it.
But
Yes.
he farts at the dinner table, which I hate it.
Ew, then it's like getting the fart smell is getting on your food.
Yeah, why? I'm trying to eat. Like,
That's nasty.
but I'm trying to think of like one that's like
It's a lot about farting.
It is. You're a happy person.
The other day when you posted the door was open and he was on his phone pooping, I was like, "This is one of the funniest things." I've
that's
ever
our
seen.
life. We
That is so funny.
We both go to the bathroom with the door open.
But like, what if when you hear the plop or the farts happen, like, because my poops like are not always quiet.
Oh yeah,
like I'd be so embarrassed.
No, we have like conversations. Like I'll stand at the door sometimes. I mean, I am complaining about farts, but then I'll stand at the door and talk to him while he's taking a shit.
But that's different. That's different. Like, you know what you're getting yourself into.
That's true.
You know, the other one's like unexpected.
Right. Like when I'm eating.
Ew.
Right.
I'm so grossed out.
But I'm trying to think of one that's deeper, and I feel like something that Tanner does that bothers me is so he's always been like a leader or a boss at work, and sometimes he talks to me like he's talking to his employees. And
oh my God, yes.
So I'm like, Tanner, you can't just boss me around. Like you have to like ask me nicely. Like like there's a level of like kindness here.
Right.
And he doesn't get it. Like it doesn't translate in his brain. And so
It's because guys think they're smarter than us.
Yeah. And he just like, it's kind of like Liz, like you were saying with Vito, it's like, get this done, And so he's like, I have no time to be kind or, I'm like, if you ask me, like I told him, you have to use reverse psychology on me.
Right.
If you're asking like nicely and make it feel like almost like it's my idea or somewhat, I'm going to do it. But if you're just like bossing me around, I'm not going to do it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I'm going to even mess it up worse. So then you have to do it.
I also think Tanner is such bad gas because he chugs milk out of the gallon. Like, but I bet if he cut out dairy,
absolutely,
he would not be farting all the time.
Yeah. I cut out dairy for the last 3 days and it's hard, you guys.
Dairy tears
very
me
hard.
up. So
I know. And then I got sick. I'm like, maybe if I'd kept dairy in.
maybe if I was eating dairy.
If I was eating dairy, I wouldn't be sick. Okay, next question. Let's see. How to be a good mom, a good friend. I struggle with keeping in touch with friends because of mommy and mom guilt. It's hard. This is really hard because I think it's just hard in general because even when you are in a relationship, like you're engaged now and you hang out with him more, isn't it hard to keep track of your other friends? Like, I feel like this isn't even just a mom thing. This is just like when you're in a relationship with a baby or a husband or a fiance, like it is hard and you almost have to, like there's days like my friends will call and I'll look at the phone. I'll be like, I just can't answer. I don't have time for an hour conversation.
Right.
And then, the next time they're calling, I'm like, I have to answer this. And I feel like a bad friend, but like, I don't know. Juggling that is like honestly one of the hardest things. I think you almost have to, if those friendships are worth it to you, just have to force yourself to like make that a priority as well. Even though it's like there's no time for it, but you just have to make that 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I have such a long commute to work right now. It's like an hour. So I'll call people and catch up then. So it's nice. Smart. But then I feel like hanging out with friends just really isn't that big of an issue for me here because like Vito's my friend here.
Yeah.
I have like a couple of work friends. Like I'm getting lunch with a girl from work next week. But other than that, like really that's it. So I don't have to deal with that right now. But we would I was telling Vito, I really want to find like good couples to hang out with that live here because I feel like all of my friends who are couples that I would love to hang out with, none of them live here. Right. So we don't have friends that are couples that are similar to us.
Yeah.
I guess. So I don't know. Jade, how do you like keep in touch with friends when you're like being a mom, or if you have like mom guilt?
So I think what this person is saying is they feel bad that they're not spending time with their kids if they're spending time with their friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's important to still spend time with your friends and do things outside of your babies, which I know is really, really hard. Like you guys know, me going to Chattanooga without Emmy was like the scariest thing for me. But it was so good for my soul. So it's hard because I know that feeling, and Carly, you know that feeling too. But it's really good to just like do it. Just even if it's just like an hour, like go get coffee with a friend one day, and you're going to come back and your baby's going to be fine.
Right.
And everything like that. But like, as for communication, I've definitely been horrible at times because you do kind of, you get in the mommy tunnel vision. And sometimes life stacks on you and you're stressed and you feel like one more thing is just too hard. But your friend should also know that you're probably going through something too. But maybe you should just say like, hey, like super busy, stressed right now. I'll get back to you next week. Love you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Evan and I have left Bella like with my parents, not a lot, but I mean, quite a few times. And gone on like little 2-night trips. We're about to go to New York this weekend for his birthday trip. And I think it helps me because she's with my parents. So I know she's going to have more fun even with them than she's going to have with me.
Mm-hmm.
My mom is so fun. She has like puppets and like she'll do a puppet show with her and all these things that I don't have the energy to do. But it's so good for our relationship. It's so healing. And like even Jade, like when we went to Chattanooga, it was such a good healing time, even for our friendship and just for you, like in your soul. Like I think if you almost, and it's not a selfish thing. It's like your soul needs to be healed sometimes and your relationships need to be healed. And sometimes you do have to put that as a priority and you're not thinking about yourself over your kid. You're getting to be a better yourself for your kid.
Absolutely.
Better relationship for your kid. So that's kind of how I think I deal with the mom guilt is knowing that if I'm the best version of me, then I'm going to give her the best version of me. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I think. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Oh, no, that's really good advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jade, what are you doing to stay positive while trying to conceive baby number 2? The person who asked this, she said,
Your face.
I'm failing over here. So the girl who asked this question feels like she's having a hard time staying positive through her journey getting pregnant.
I feel like it's like a roller coaster. So, because during ovulation, when we're trying, it's kind of like fun and exciting, I guess. And then the 2-week wait before you're supposed to get your period or before you can get a positive pregnancy test is like the longest 2 weeks ever. And that's when I stress a lot. So I try to stay positive by just like not focusing on it so much. Trying to just focus on other good things in my life. But then when you take that test and you're not getting positive tests, or then you get your period, then it's like a really low because you're just really disappointed. And then I feel like my body is a failure or, like it's hard. So that's like the hardest part. And then I think like the best thing for me during that time is to just like talk to Tanner about it. Although he doesn't fully understand, I think it's different for guys. I know he's disappointed, but for him, it's just like next time. And it's like, but I didn't want a next time.
Right.
And so I think it's just like leaning on your friends and family. If you can talk to anybody, I feel like it's really just talking to somebody, but, it's a roller coaster. Like it's hard. I don't know if I try to stay positive. I just try to stay distracted.
Yeah.
'Cause it's hard. And everyone always says, don't stress about it, 'cause then you'll get pregnant. But then it's like, but I do stress about it. It's
right.
And anyone who wants a baby would stress about it. That's just normal.
Well, especially when it's like you've been trying for a while and then you're like wondering the whys, and everybody has an answer to your why, and you're just like, well, I've been trying everything. So,
right.
And everyone always says trust in God's timing, and maybe that's the best answer, but I still get angry at that answer too. Because I'm like, no, like I'm in control. Like I want what I want. I don't care. Like it's hard. It's just we're in it together. That's all I can say. And hopefully you'll get your little baby. I don't know. It's hard.
I think that's a good one too for the Babies podcast group, the Facebook group, because I feel like that's one where people could lend a hand and either listen or tell you what they did or whatever. Because, maybe there's something that, the fifth person will tell you that really does help you.
Yeah. I do think it's really helpful. I've seen a lot of women be really good with each other about trying to conceive in the Facebook group. But also at the same time, it's hard. Like I said, it's hard when everyone's like, try this, try that, try this.
Right.
And it's like,
take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Right.
It can get overwhelming, or I don't know, just a lot of pressure. Then you put more pressure on yourself and you're like, well, now I'm doing this and it's not happening. And well, now I'm doing that and it's not happening. And
yeah.
So it's also just don't put, it's hard to say. Like I can say, don't put pressure on yourself or your body, but you do anyway. So it's hard.
Right.
It's hard.
Yeah. So what is everyone's love language? Have either of you guys ever taken that love language test or quiz or whatever?
Yes. Mine is quality time.
Same.
Yeah.
So I used to think mine was physical touch. Like I'd always thought it was, but I definitely think mine is probably quality time and probably words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my second. But even now when Evan says a nice thing to me, it doesn't really land. But if we actually, like he'll be like, you're so beautiful. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, can you not say okay after I say you're beautiful? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. See, I don't want those though. I don't want like you're beautiful because like, but I want more just like I wish maybe Tanner would say he's proud of me more. I don't know, or that I'm doing an awesome job. I would like that kind of affirmation.
Yeah. No, that's a good. Yeah, that's
Tanner's is physical touch. Oh my god, he constantly loves to be touched. It's insane.
I remember you used to give him head massages every night before he went to bed.
Oh my gosh.
So funny. I thought you were going to stop after the word head, and I was like, whoa, we're getting a little weird here.
Oh my gosh. He's not that lucky, Carly.
Evan's is words of affirmation, which I'm literally the worst at giving.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, part of it's like my pride, like if he wants me to tell him he's so great, well then start doing really great things. So I'll tell you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like
you got to earn it.
Yeah. You have to like really earn it. And then he just gets so frustrated with me because I don't. He's like, nobody ever tells me I'm great. So, hey, everybody tell Evan that he's doing great. That would really help him out. But I'm really bad at it. And I've told myself lately, like, come on, you have to be like better. Just have to be
is
better
hard.
at it.
Like, I feel like for me, it was very hard for me to give words of affirmation. And I don't know why. So I just started randomly complimenting people. Like if I went somewhere and this girl had a really cute shirt, I would tell her. Because in my mind, I'd be like, wow, that's a cute shirt. But I would feel weird saying it out loud.
That's a really good idea.
So I started just being like, okay, if I'm thinking
of it.
Right. If I'm thinking of it, then I'm going to say it. And then like slowly work there. Because then it's also with strangers. For some reason, it was harder to compliment sometimes the people closest to me. Yeah, and I don't know why. It's weird. You know?
Yeah, no, I totally. It's got to be some deep hidden bad thing in us that we can't compliment our own family members or friends.
Yeah, but most men, I feel like most men love words of affirmation, and part of that's being a man. Like you kind of have to stroke their ego. You have to let them know that they're doing a good job.
But that's what I hate about it.
Right.
Because I think that's ridiculous.
I get that too, though, Carly, because Tanner's mom told him he was like the most amazing child on the planet his whole
Zoe
life.
Evans. Oh my gosh.
And
yes.
so Tanner's already thinks he's amazing, which he is. But he thinks he's amazing.
Yeah.
And so like me giving him a compliment, I'm just like, like he already just knows it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see his chest get a little bit like, sticks it out a little farther.
Ew.
Like it's already adding to it. And I'm like,
I just think
God.
the male ego is the grossest thing. Like I always, when people said like, what kind of people are you attracted to? I always said like, I'm not attracted to a man with an ego. It is so gross to me because the male ego, that the guys that walk around so macho thinking they're hot shit, like really gets under my skin.
See,
Yeah,
Tanner's ego is different though. It's like,
but he's not like
it's
that.
an indifference.
Right.
It's almost like I'm so cool, I don't care, and I was really attracted to that in the beginning. But now I'm like, ugh. I feel like, can you care? Part of him, but it's also like sometimes I'm like, I can't take it today. I can't.
Right.
That's so funny.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
Well, what's refreshing though is that we had a guy write in too, and he said that he's getting married soon. Or wait, actually, it might be a woman. I don't know.
Okay, so someone wrote in.
Somebody wrote in saying, I'm getting married soon and wondering what's one thing I can do to make my wife the happiest in our marriage. And I think the biggest thing is just asking her.
Yeah.
Like asking her, being like, I want our marriage to succeed. I want to make you happy. Like, tell me a couple of things that make you feel loved or what I can do to make you happy in this marriage.
I think the biggest thing for me is Tanner having my back in all my decisions and always supporting me. And making me feel competent. Like sometimes when I do something and Tanner like makes me feel dumb about it, it really gets me down because he's my partner and I want to, I want him to be proud of me. And so I feel like that's like one thing that really makes me happy is just him always like having my back in my decisions.
Yeah.
But I asked Tanner this question on what can I do that would make you happiest in our marriage? And he said blowjobs and back rubs.
Oh my God.
So there's a man perspective.
Oh my
Evan
God.
would be like, feed me and tell me I'm pretty.
Basically. That's the same with Vito. Vito would be like, feed me and tell me I'm pretty.
What do you think, Carly? What would make you happiest in your marriage? Like what's a piece of advice for this person?
I think, the moments I'm struggling when Evan says, like, he does say, like, what can I do to help? And if that's, like, being like, I'm going to take Bella for 30 minutes. Why don't you go, like, to Target? Speaking of, I need to go to Target today. Thanks for reminding myself. But he'll be like, let me take Bella and you go take a shower, or let me, can I bring you a glass of wine, or, whatever. Like, I think kind of at this point, like, he knows when I'm really overwhelmed and he'll be like, okay, you're super overwhelmed. What can I do? And I think it's just important to like almost feel the cues from the person and be like, yeah, what can I do to help you in this moment? Even if it's just a temporary thing, sometimes those temporary things really help.
Yeah. So like taking something off your plate.
Yes. Yeah. Because sometimes it's just overwhelming,
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't get to shower for days and days and days. And sometimes the best thing in the world would be a shower.
Word.
Yeah.
What about you, Liz? What do you think? I mean, you're not married, but what do you think is something that you could see in your future? You guys have been doing that booklet, that workbook. So
yeah. I think I'm very similar to Carly. Vito can read me pretty well. I get overwhelmed pretty easy and then I kind of shut down. But when he offers to help, or even if he's like, okay, I know you want to like get this done. How can I help you get that done? So I think I feel happy. I don't know. I feel like it's a combination because I feel like it is knowing that he supports me and has my back, but he also is like helping me be the best version of myself by knowing when I need help and knowing all those things. But I mean, I don't know. I'd like to check back in a year after 1 year of marriage.
Yeah.
And it's probably
I'd like
going to
to
be a
check
completely different answer, So we'll see. The book, I've had a lot of people ask about that book. I would definitely recommend if you're getting married, or even if you're in a serious relationship considering getting married, this book says it's called Getting Ready for Marriage. And
What if you're already married?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. It has really challenged us. And it asks all the questions. We talk about all the things. And like I said, we've gotten into healthy arguments over it, being like, no, so it's been very, very helpful. It's challenged us a lot. And I'm very glad that we did it, because I feel like it's just going to it just opens your eyes a little bit more. I feel like both of us are realistic, but going into marriage, you still have a little bit of a haze,
Yeah.
of like, oh, I'm getting married, it's going to be perfect. But
Right.
This book is basically like, yeah, it's not. And here's some things to talk about to, make your communication better. So I would definitely recommend it, because it's challenged us. We're almost done with it. So
That's awesome. Tanner and I didn't do premarital counseling, and I kind of wish we had.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We didn't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Evan and I went to a counselor once before we got married, and I wish we had gone a lot.
It's not too late, guys.
I know.
Yeah.
But then the counselor's going to be like, feed him and tell him he's pretty. And I'm going to be like, no.
Oh, life.
Oh, man. Well, this was fun.
It was fun.
These
I
were
always
some
love
good
doing
questions.
these.
I do too.
I know. There was more that we didn't get to, but next
There
time.
always is. I was thinking we could do another one closer to Christmas, and we can talk about, we can answer some questions, and then talk about Christmas, traditions and things you want to do with your girls,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
and
fun.
stuff like that.
I like that idea.
And then also I want to talk about Bella's birthday coming up.
Oh my gosh. It's freaking me out, you guys.
She's basically a teenager.
She is. She's 19. The years flew by so fast. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Excuse me. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. And 'tis the season, guys. It's my favorite season.
Yeah, I know. I get to go see the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree tomorrow. I'm freaking out.
Oh my gosh. I'm so
I haven't
jealous.
been there for Christmas in so long.
You're going to have so much fun.
It's going to be so cold.
It's on
so
my
worth
bucket
it.
list
I already
to
have a
ice
cold,
skate.
so it doesn't matter.
Right. You already
what's-
are prepared.
Oh, yeah. I'm prepared with my cold.
Drink lots of tea with honey.
I am. That's what I had.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. All right. Well,
Okay.
until next time.
Till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Babes and Babies, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.